guys, it's Robbie here, and this is FrekiFitWolf. So, yesterday I made an announcement that I was going to be going to Michigan and seeing Amy, the Teami queen, and then we were both going to pay a short visit to Sandy from over at Let's Get Fit with Sandy. I spoke too soon. I have canceled that trip. I want to apologize, one, for announcing something and then canceling it the next day, but also I kind of just want to explain the whole process with everything because I feel off about it. So first of all, let me explain why I thought it was a good idea. So a week from today, Missouri, St. Louis City, St. Louis County, where I live, is opening back up. And I'll be going back to work. And we're included in phase one. So immediately salons are opening back up where we touch people all day for a living. Yes, we have face masks. Customers will be required to have face masks. We'll have extra precautions and procedures to limit people being in the building and cleaning and all of that type of stuff. But ultimately, we're still touching people all day long. And so my head interpreted that as things are better. Things are okay. And also, on top of that, just being real for a minute, I don't know when I'll be able to go somewhere next. I, right now, am doing okay financially because of the extra $600 a week on top of unemployment that we get. I make more money right now over the past 6 weeks or 7 weeks than I do when I work. So I was like, this is the perfect timing. If it's okay, we can go. And I want to have some fun while I can because it's going to be a while before that happens again. And we were all planning on wearing face masks. I was planning on packing all kinds of food so that I would not need to stop and go in anywhere. I was going to wear gloves when I got gas. I have hand sanitizer. I have bleach solutions. I have Lysol. All of that stuff. So I thought it was okay. And plus, when I did talk to both of them said they felt comfortable with the idea. Especially because when I would be staying at Amy's house, she lives alone with her doggos and she doesn't even go out to get groceries. She gets groceries delivered. So she hasn't been exposed. I do go out to get groceries and I do all the safety precautions. So my risks are small. So in my head, it was like, okay, I'm going from here to there where both houses are relatively safe. But the thing is, I don't know that for sure. I was having a debate with somebody on my Facebook yesterday, and I'm like, no, you can't be 100% safe. I was being that person. I could catch it from somebody walking by my backyard in the alley because they had it, coughed or whatever. So what's the difference? But the difference is I wasn't going to be exposing other people. If I were to randomly catch it from a stranger walking down my alley or from somebody at the grocery store, it made it through the mask or whatever, I was coming back home and alone. So I wasn't exposing anybody. If on this particular trip somehow I got infected and I made it to Amy and got her sick, and then made it to Sandy and got her sick, or if while there somehow I contracted it and made it back to St. Louis and start work next week, if you're exposed, you have to be quarantined for 2 weeks. So that means if I caught it between tomorrow and Thursday, Monday, it's still in my system. And I go back to work and I will be working on customers. And a lot of my customers are older in the higher risk range or have health issues. I have coworkers with health issues. And so I couldn't sleep last night. I stayed up half the night debating this in my head and researching as much as I could online. And ultimately, if I got somebody else sick, I would feel horrible. If I was the cause of somebody's death, I don't know how I would handle that. If for some reason it would have been Sandy or any of my numerous customers that I love so much, it would be putting them at risk. And if I caused them to die because I wanted to take a trip, because I was tired of being alone, because I felt I deserved to have some fun, nobody deserves any of that at the risk of causing somebody else's death or sickness even. I do feel that if I were to catch it, I would pretty much be okay. I kind of feel like I did have it way back when all this first started, because I did get sick for about a week with all of the symptoms. So that, I feel like I'd be fine. Whatever. If I get it, if I had it, if I could get it again, whatever. But the thing is, the people around me and the people I care about, that's the difference. And so obviously I'm canceling the trip. I did talk with Amy and Sandy this morning. They both completely understand, and they both were having their doubts as well. I think the three of us had these doubts in our mind, but because the other ones felt okay with it, we thought, well, if they think it's okay, well, then maybe it is. And it could be. Who knows? There is no exact science to this. All of those precautions could be enough. But that's a if. That's a could be. That's a what if. And all of those are enough for me to not do it. So I'm not a martyr. I'm not making this thing. Somebody thanked me on Facebook when I announced that I was staying home. Thanked me for my sacrifice. It's not a sacrifice to not go on a vacation somewhere. Sorry. But it was me being selfish, wanting to go, wanting to see my friend Amy, wanting to see my friend Sandy. And it was exciting, and I can't do it now, but we can reschedule later. They, literally, Amy lives 6 hours away from me. 5 or 6, I keep forgetting. We can reschedule. We can do this later. Even if money is tight for me, I'll be able to afford something like that. Also, when work does start and all the unemployment benefits do stop, I will be starting to do ship deliveries and things like that, which again is high risk, but that will hopefully get me some extra income so that I can be back to where I was during this time. But yeah, this isn't about money and all that jazz, whatever. It's part of life. But, like Sandy says, we're both really bad at money. But, yeah. So, yeah, I apologize for making that announcement. And none of you guys said anything negative or hateful about the trip. And I do appreciate that. I bet some of you were questioning how safe it was. And like I said, I apologize, because especially with me sharing my life with so many people, I feel like it is a little bit my responsibility to be responsible and not set bad examples. Not that you guys are following me, but you know what I mean. I'm sharing my life with you guys, and it's just something that I shouldn't have even planned from the get-go. But either way, it's canceled now. I meant for this to be a 3-minute apology announcement, blah, blah, blah. It's been 9 minutes, so I'm calling it here. And I'll get back to my normal type of videos tomorrow or the next day. Probably something related to exercise, whether I show the strength training, whether I do or the resistant bands, or whether I do an exercise video. It's probably going to be something related to that. But we'll see. All right, anyway, bye guys. Thank you. Sorry.